I wanted to make sure you guys get a couple, we've had an awesome discussion, but I wanted to just make sure you get a couple here, practical techniques to use. So two things that I've done in teaching this tool. Really depends a lot on your audience. If you've got, let's take a high school group, for example, that maybe doesn't have a whole lot of world experience, a lot of like, they haven't ever even thought about how they arrive at a decision before, so they can't really form an opinion about that. We can't draw from their own experience. So I might use the regular decision-making framework, and have them take this and then ask them to draw it into a concept map. And with younger audiences in schools today, concept maps are a very common tool used in education, in elementary and high school education today across the country. It's something that I didn't grow up with, but my wife's a school teacher, and she's like, it's ubiquitous in school culture today. So the idea of having them take this and draw their own concept map of what this means for them. So we give them the tool and then say, interpret it. And it gives us a chance to check for understanding and correct things. It gives us an opportunity for feedback before we move further, so we don't get down the road and realize, oh my God, they're missing some really key elements of this model that I'm assuming they're getting. So that's one tool. Give them the tool, describe it to them, and then have them redraw it through their own perspective. Another way to do it is to take people, if you have a higher level of experience. Say last year I did a course for a field working crew for the Forest Service, a bunch of lynx biologists. These people are very thoughtful. Everybody's got postgraduate degrees. And so I asked them to draw their own thought process in how they make decisions in high-risk environments. So they drew their own concept map. And then I provided them with the decision-making framework, and we compared the two and helped them kind of build their model. So we drew from their experience first, and then layered on AIARE's perspective, because they already had plenty of experience to get their brains engaged on their own. So anyway, two little techniques for how you can teach this to your students. Case studies are another great one. Okay, so let's move on to the next tool, the field book. And the field book is a really integral tool in the curriculum. You know, it starts, the key element for the level 1 student are these 2 pages. And I just want to emphasize, last year this new field book was reintroduced, and it was really a departure. It was a big change from what we've done in the past. And I want to make sure it's really clear what this tool does. You know, if the level 1 student only fills out the left side of this page, we are going to have done our job in helping the students anticipate hazards and develop a plan to mitigate them. Honestly, the risk management side of it all has to do with the left-hand page. If all they do is think about those elements on the drive, in the car, and acknowledge where they have hazards in the terrain based on their interpretation of the bulletin and the terrain and the current conditions and who's in their group and their emergency response plan, man, we're doing great with a level 1 student. So in reality, that's where a lot of our emphasis should be. In the right-hand page is really the tool that allows them to generate high-quality experience on the course and as they leave the course. It's the analysis page. It's the side where on any given day, if they don't fill that out, you know, maybe that means they're walking around not really gathering new information, but assuming they did the stuff on the left side well, then maybe that's not even that important. As you guys, there's a paper that Jameson's crew's got coming out, I forget the name of it, but it has something to do with digging and Bel Air. Look for that paper this week. It's really, really good. It's about when should we dig, under what conditions. And I'll let Jameson talk about the conclusions that he's made, but it's a paper that everybody in this room has to read. It's a very, very good paper. And it helps us understand that a lot of the time, it's really not that important for our students to be spending a lot of effort gaining new information. But if they fail to do that, they're never going to get any better. So the right-hand side is all about them growing in their avalanche experience. So if they want to get any better, that's where they use the right-hand side. So showing them to use it as a tool to verify their own assumptions and to grow and to learn, that's really the key. And our job is to take this tool and bring it out and make it three-dimensional. Get it out in the field and model using that tool.